tell you when I called Slick after he had on the phone, he like, F you, whatever. No, I think what it wasn't even on the party line, right? Man, I've been having the worst headache ever. But it wasn't on the party line when he told me F me and all that or whatever, right? It was this girl in PH, and I was kind of messing with her. I guess she was messing with him too. And I don't know, I think she put him on a three-way or something. I don't even know what happened to that girl, because she know KB too. Matter of fact, I talked to her one time with KB, and you know, but I haven't seen her in years, right? But I don't know, she put us on the three-way. He went off on me. I was like, I don't even know what the heck, what was he tripping on or whatever, what, you know. I don't know what it was over or what he was tripping on, but he went hard in the paint, right? So, you know, like me and my cousin KG, that's my uncle's son, we would go to the roller rink, you know, as kids. So Slick, Nate Majors, Tony Wright, Anthony Parr, they all together, because that was a little crew, you know. And I'm like, man, what's happening, man? Woo. But Nate wasn't allowing it, you know what I mean? He wasn't going for it. He breaking it up, you know what I mean? He was like, nah. And I had to respect Nate for that, man. It was all love. But we end up, you know, me and Slick end up being all right later on, you know. And like I said, we end up going to Lincoln together. I didn't last long there. I got kicked out, but Mr. Polk, I think Mr. Polk knew what time it was, because it was crazy, right? Like, matter of fact, me and Slick was walking together to lunch, and the fool wanted to get down, you know, Peanut from Emerald. But I don't know, I don't know, you know, like, I don't even know where he went, where he came from, you know what I mean? But I'm sure there's somebody, you know, it had to be a reason why he was from Emerald, but he wanted to get out, so we went behind the store, the liquor store, and, you know, we locked up for a second. Then it was like on a slope, though. It was like a slope, like say if you was to drive in the back of the store, it would go down like that, you know what I mean? So we like fell, you know what I mean? And then they just broke it up. So it wasn't really even a fight, you know what I mean? We didn't even really get to do nothing, to be honest. But so we went to Lincoln together, and then later on, you know, I don't even know how we end up linking back up, you know, when we had our Impalas. I don't know, you know what I mean? But his first one, he was having problems. But I had problems with mine too, shoot. It caught on fire. It did all kind of stuff. I had a rim fly off. I was in the hood too, right on 47th. I'm coming up. I ain't even make it to Federal. I passed. I'm right. I'm coming through. I'm coming through the hood, 47th. And I get right by I come through the light, before I get to Gompers, my wheel flew off. Whew. I'm talking about I drove, I was riding, right? It was sparks and everything flying everywhere, right? I was scared as crap. Finally, you know what I mean, got it over. I already had cell phone and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I was already had my own little paying my bill or whatever, you know, back then. But and it caught on fire. I opened the hood up, whole engine, whoosh, flames everywhere, right? I don't even remember how I got them out or whatever. Then I went and put it in the shop, and somebody stole all my Daytons, the rest of them, and then I got it out the shop because the axle had broke. So I had to get the axle done, and I ended up losing both of my pieces of work. I had 2 pieces of work at the time. I had a light bright and a chocolate. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, one of the sharps knocked me for the mix girl. That was my little honey though. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Cause I don't think she ever did drugs, but I don't know. You know what I mean? I couldn't see, you know, Sharp is a big family, the Sharp family, you know, it's a bunch of them, you know, they all P's, most of them, you know, but it was one of the older ones. It was one of the older ones that knocked me, you know, I forgot his name, but, you know, he sent me my little news or whatever, you know. And that's what it was. But and then we had ended up, me and Slick, we had ended up coming back together again. Well, yeah, when he had the first lowrider, but I went over his house and stuff, and then that's when the folks, they ended up getting into it over something. And I put him in the car with me, broke all that stuff up. And then I don't know if I was just like, but I was out of town a lot and everything, you know. And then, you know, we became kind of tight. You know, he'd come to my house, eat dinner and stuff like that. Kind of hang, and I would go pick him up. He had a little honey, a little Malika. Malika is one of the little honey. I'll tell a few stories. I don't have too many, but she was kind of the home girl that kind of, you know, kept her door open for the homies. You know what I mean? At the time, I really, you know, it wasn't really I needed something like that, but I would go over there, the homies be over there and stuff, or I'd go pick up Slick over there, and it would always be this dude. But I guess, you know, Slick had his little thing worked out with him hustling or whatever. He was gay or whatever. Bandy, they call him Bandy. You know what I mean? Bandy been around forever, you know what I mean? But like when I would see them, Malik will probably listen to this, you know, I go outside, you know what I mean? You know, I wouldn't want to be around that little situation and stuff, you know. And, you know, then later, because me and Bub was real tight, Bubba Cheeks was Slick's best friend, you know. But me and him was real tight, you know. We was always together. Well, we all be together, but You know, he would go hustle with me and stuff, you know. And we would go down to the guest. That's when the guest was a big thing, you know. Shoot, we'd go down to the guest outlets, hit them up, go spend a bag down there, go get fresh, you know. Probably a lot of the pictures that you would see of Bub before he died, he would always be fresh with his little guests on and stuff like that, you know. I miss my boy. He was good people. He was funny. You know, I don't understand what happened with that. You know, he got killed in the dip right in front of Bay Vista. You know, um, I don't know what happened with that, man. You know, I always wondered, like, what that was about. You know, he was doing his thing. He had dough. I'm sure he had about $10,000, $20,000. I don't even know why they needed money to bury him and tombstones and, you know. Slick asked me for the money for the tombstone. I slid it to him immediately. Go and pay for that, you know. I don't know what ended up happening, but, you know, you know, I don't know. But yeah, man. Then later on in life, you know, he started rapping. But I had to go do some time. I was fighting a case for like 2 years in jail. Then I bailed out, and then they put me back in jail, said I was tampering with a witness. So I ended up staying in there again, and then finally just taking a deal, you know, and I only ended up doing a year. I got a little time served or whatever, which I wasn't tampering with a witness. You know what I mean? I was trying to shake that case because it was like with a New York police officer, and, you know, he lived in my apartment that I lived in with my son and my baby's mom, right? But later on, I ended up living behind him because I had a little studio when they left and went to her dad's. I had a studio behind there, you know, and it's crazy because we was at the Marriott. Rest in peace, Sam Stewart. You know, little Bam. You know, and you know that bothered me too, man. I went to his funeral, seen him in the casket. I couldn't even talk, homie. You know, they had me up there. I'm in front of the whole. It's the whole hood is there, and I'm crying like a baby. I was sick, man. You know, and that was my boy. You know, we had some good times. You know, he was funny too. You know, everybody liked to laugh and joke and play and, you know, just joke around and stuff, right? But yeah, that touched me. I got his obituary in my glove compartment with my grandmother's, you know. But we played baseball together, you know, and he got killed in Atlanta, you know. I don't know, somebody got up in his house and gunned him down, man. And I'm like, he always stayed heated. He always was, you know. I don't even know how that ended up happening. It had to be some, I don't, I'm like, how the hell did that happen? you know, hit my boy like that, man. You know, but we had that case, right? I had end up, what happened, man? Um, oh, so we was at the Marriott downtown, the big the two with the big two, not two-story, but the towers. They got the two towers, the Marriott on the harbor, right, downtown. Had a big party there, man. It was on. It was nice. You know, because Bam was a real player too, you know what I mean? He was a playboy. But he was going to go get his money too, you know? So, we chilled. Man, we got so drunk and everything, man. Faded. Man, I drove all the way over there to the spot and fell asleep in the car, homie. And I wake up, it's like, I hear police everywhere, right? I try to get up out of there because I was heated and everything else, you know what I mean? And they end up connecting me to this. I don't even, so look, we go to court though. The police tell him out the lineup. I got my folks, you know, got my lawyer doing the lineup and all this stuff, right? So he said, well, which one do you think it is? He pointed at somebody totally different than me, right? The police tell him who it was and who I was. And he's like, yeah, he's 3 or, you know, whatever. And he told him, and he was like, oh, 3, you know, or whatever, you know, like that. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But just like when